Hello everyone! I hope everyone has had an interesting and enjoyable day. We've had a keynote by Stefan Kopp, heard about the gesture generation challenge from all the participating teams, and listened to an interesting presentation by James Pustiowski. But the most important thing is, what have we learned? Well, I'll hand over the word to Gustav to summarize what we have learned during the day. So, what have we learned from the challenge then? One thing that I found very interesting was that the state-of-the-art gesture generation does not produce natural motion. And we can see that quite clearly from this figure. Here we can see the results of both user studies from the challenge together in a single figure, with colored boxes showing confidence regions for the true median rating for each of the evaluated conditions. And what we can see is that all the systems, especially in terms of appropriateness, are far from the ground truth, which is the black box up at the top. We're doing quite a bit better when it comes to human likeness, but to capture the semantics, we still have a long way to go. So this seems to clearly indicate that there is a need for future challenges, so that we can bridge this gap. One thing that we learned was that using a MUSHRA-like evaluation scheme, where participants were able to compare many systems in parallel, worked really well when testing so many systems. Another thing we found interesting was that human likeness does not imply appropriateness for synthetic gestures, as we have seen that different synthetic systems are good at different things. Some give a more human-like gesture motion, while others might have less appealing motion but instead manage to a better match for the accompanying speech. This suggests that there might be room for further improvement by combining the advantages of different existing approaches. Finally, we have seen that providing pre-processed data and good infrastructure really pays off. This makes it easy for the participants to focus on the task at hand instead of spending a lot of time pre-processing the data or each team creating their own way of visualizing the output. We have set up a few to-dos for possible future challenges. One thing is that a new dataset is needed. We feel that we have exhausted the current dataset, and the test data is also publicly available. We did in fact try to collect our own dataset, but then COVID came and, well, as you know, it made our life a bit difficult, so we had to change plans. Furthermore, there needs to be improvement in the evaluation of appropriateness. For example, by splitting up and looking at rhythmic versus semantic appropriateness separately. Lastly, it would be great to reuse some of the systems from the current challenge as baselines. And in order to motivate both challenge and workshop participants to make their works more reproducible, so that it's easier for the scientific community to use their work, but also maybe for future challenges to use them as baselines, we come up with the idea of having a Reproducibility Award. This award goes to the submission, which is easiest to reproduce. And I am therefore happy to announce that the Fine Motion team wins this award, which consists of Vladislav Korzun, Ilya Dimov, and Andrei Zarkov. Congratulations! We also have some acknowledgements to make. As I said earlier, we did try to collect our own dataset together with Ulysses Bernadette, but because of COVID, that did not really go as planned. Instead, Ylva Firstel and Rachel MacDonald were willing to make their data available, which we're very grateful for. We would also like to thank Simon Alexandersson, Taras Kucharenko, Jonas Beskov, Peter Wolfert, and Jonathan Lindgren for pre-processing the GENEA data, which took a lot of time and effort on their part. Furthermore, we would like to thank the WASP program, funded by Knut and Alice Wallenberg Foundation, for supporting the challenge evaluation, and Simon King for sharing his lesson notes from the Blizzard Challenge, where teams work on generating text-to-speech. We also would like to thank the Technical Program Committee, and finally the participants of the challenge and workshop. And with that, I would like to say thank you for joining us today, and see you next time, or in the after chat on Gather. Also, please participate in the post-workshop survey here on Zoom before leaving.